Hi everybody, this is Devin from 2-Bit Animation, and this is the first episode of Storytellers Academy. But I wanted to just start off by kind of explaining why storytelling is so important. But really, I mean, it's something that I wish I would have had when I was younger. Even in high school, I wanted to be good at writing and creative things with that, and I just didn't know how. I didn't know what was good. I didn't know what the expectations were, so it was really hard to kind of just jump into it. So I'm hoping to kind of reach some people that may be starting out or maybe thinking that they might want to get into writing, or even if you're getting into film at all. Like this is something that I think a lot of people don't understand and kind of take for granted. A lot of the black and white movies and even early color movies that they had very limited abilities, and so they had to focus on their storytelling. And that's why the people that like those kind of movies, I'm one of those, that's why they like them so much, is there's so much story that they had to rely on, and so it made for an interesting movie, out of necessity. The Casablancas and all the Alfred Hitchcock movies, that they had to kind of just rely on the storytelling because that's all there was. There wasn't very many techniques that they've gotten down. Like they had different things that they could do, and they were very creative with that for what they had, but they only did that when the story demanded it. Alfred Hitchcock only put birds on a back projection because that's what he needed to have happen, because he couldn't have birds actually attacking people. Now we've got movies where you're just trying to come up with a story to justify all these explosions that we have in the budget, or justify a way to get two people into the car to have this gag that we're gonna tell the same group of jokes over and over again. And they're kind of missing out on a lot of the things that really can make something funny, or really can make an explosion meaningful, or really can make a special effect just make an impact. A lot of stuff that has to do with that doesn't matter if you don't care about the characters, if you don't care about the outcome of the story. But we've kind of been trained to just kind of turn our brains off when we go watch movies. When we sit down, we just start eating the popcorn. We don't really think about anything that's happening, and that's not a good thing. Like, you want to engage the audience, you want to keep them interested in the characters, you want to keep them interested in what's going on, you want them to gasp when something unexpected happens, and there's ways to do that. And I think there's a lot of movies that are just trying to get people in seats in the theaters, or get DVDs sold or digital copies sold, that they're just kind of looking at the bottom line and that's it, and that's not good. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are really good movies, there are really good things that aren't just complete cliches that you can figure out throughout the whole thing. I watched the movie Yesterday the other day, and that's an amazing movie, and totally unique, totally just a brilliant premise. And even knowing the premise, watching the movie, like, I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't really know what was going to happen next. I really didn't know how it was going to end. And it didn't matter. I was excited to see where that story led, and I really cared about the character. It's an amazing actor. I hope we see more of him. But but it was one of those stories I hadn't seen a million times, and it it was just well put together, and that doesn't happen as often as I think it should be, and I think it's not as hard as people make it out to be. So I wanted to kind of break down some things with storytelling to kind of simplify things and to kind of get you off on the right start. But even if you're just somebody that likes movies and you just like watching movies, hopefully this will get you to look at movies a little bit differently and really be able to see why good movies are good and what makes them stand out. And because I really think that's important. I really think that we're so much into IP, so much into established whatever. We can't do anything new. It's impossible to have new undiscovered territory, and I think that's not true. I mean, I do understand why it's harder to jump on with new ideas and things like that, because there's new good ideas and there's also new really bad ideas, and you don't really have the data to back up whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. Avengers movie makes money. It will always make money until all of a sudden there's some spoof that it just stops because everybody's sick of them. But all of that started from Iron Man, which nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody knew whether it'd make money or not. Nobody knew whether this Robert Downey Jr. guy was going to, turn around and make this happen. And so they took a lot of risks and a lot of different things fell into place that made all this happen. But most of that was because they took the risk. They were okay, trusting some people. They trusted some really good directors that ended up paying off for them. And, and that doesn't always work, but I think it's always worth a shot. I think it's always worth, trying to come out and go out and try new things. But I just wanted to get across that storytelling is important. It is needed in Hollywood. It's needed everywhere. And we'll dive into actually what the makeup of stories and characters and everything else that I promised in future episodes, and and have some fun with that, with character and plot and different things like that. So it should be fun. But I want to give a huge thanks to the sponsor of this video, Steampunk Cafe's Punk Shakes. If you're anything like me and you hear people talking about breakfast shakes or weight loss shakes, you probably get left with a pretty chalky taste in your mouth. These are completely different. They are amazing, and there's a whole bunch of different flavors. They're all wonderful, and it's just a basic calorie counting diet. You take the low calorie shake and then go throughout the day counting calories and keeping them low. And if you wanted to go the extra mile and be an overachiever, you could probably exercise in theory, I'm guessing. But you guys got to check this out. Go to steampunkedcafe.com, just like it's up there on the screen. I myself am a whole notch down on my belt now, so, got a pound or two to go. But yeah, huge thanks to Steampunk Cafe for sponsoring this video. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Bubble Wrap. You're probably reusable, but we'll never know. It's just too fun to pop that stuff. But yeah, this is Devin Sanders clocking out from 2-Bit Animation. We'll see you later.